Dragon Age Origins, released in 2009 by BioWare and Electronic Arts, it's described as a dark fantasy and a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. Set in the land of Elden, our story begins with hordes of monsters and the Grey Wardens, though the lore is a bit deeper and the true origin of the story will be touched upon as we adventure. The setting of this game drew inspiration from both Lord of the Rings and A Song of Ice and Fire. Some lore for the name. It is currently the 30th year of the Ninth Age. Each age is 100 years, numbered after the crowning of the Chantry's first divine. Originally said to be named the Sun Age until a high dragon appeared and went after Orlshian forces, inadvertently helping Elden secure its independence. The elderly divine Faustine II abruptly declared the name after the dragon decimated a countryside for food. Our own character is for us to choose. Altogether, 12 paths lie before us, as a few select options are based on our reproductive abilities. For this playthrough review, Ferelden's hero is an older elf mage. I have a few reasons for this, but the predominant one is magic. Intimidating at first, the multiple starts are part of what made Origins a large game at the time. And though the aspects of our character carry over, all beginnings are given the same core story. I will be showing off my skills in normal mode, as there is no friendly fire. Only enemy fire. We learn we were taken at a young age and are now conducting our rite of passage, which leads me to assume we were a janitor or something for decades until someone mistakenly taught us how to shoot plasma.
Within the high stone walls, the Circle practices its magic and trains apprentices in the proper use of their powers. But the Circle Tower is as much a prison as a refuge. The ever-vigilant Templars of the Chantry watch over all mages. Now, that apprenticeship is nearly over. All that remains is the final test, the harrowing.
Magic exists to serve man, and never to rule over him. Thus spoke the prophet Andraste as she cast down the Tevinter Imperium, ruled by mages who had brought the world to the edge of ruin. Your magic is a gift, but it's also a curse. For demons of the Dream Realm, the Fade, are drawn to you, and seek to use you as a gateway into this world.
So a bit was dropped on us there. I'll give the brief of what is needed, and go into detail later. Andraste is the bride of the Maker, the god of all creation. Her story will require dedicated time for justice. The Tevinter Imperium was the empire that ruled before the modern era by mages that caused the first blight.
The ritual sends you into the Fade, and there you will face a demon, armed with only your will.
And so whether it is truly a test, or punishment for past sins, we are transported to the Fade. A dreamlike realm where demons live and the color resembles an old movie. We meet Mouse.
It's always the same, but it's not your fault. You're in the same boat I was, aren't you? Allow me to welcome you to the Fade.
Mouse is a totally not demon, and offers some friendly advice for our test.
There are others here, other spirits. They will tell you more.
The dialogue options are what make this game stand out as well. Origins employed over 140 voice actors. What you say and to who you say it can affect several quests, character choices, and the ending. As for the Fade, this place holds half the lore in its hazy hands, as according to all legends and stories found through the Codex, it was originally the seat of heaven and the Maker. Demons are spirits, the Maker's first children, that become corrupt when denied their purpose. After riddles from another demon, Mouse is now bare.
It feels heavy.
And after shaming a spiritual knight,
How dare you accuse me? I am no demon preying upon helpless mortals to steal their essence. I am a being of honor and valor.
We are equipped with a staff.
And so it comes to me at last. Have you not told it of our arrangement, Mouse?
We don't have an arrangement. Not anymore.
Demon vanquished, Mouse bids us farewell.
You are a smart one.
Simple killing is a warrior's job. The real dangers of the Fade are preconceptions, careless trust, pride. Keep your wits about you, mage. True tests never end.
And we awake in the tower. Zhaoyan, our friend so says the plot, greets our awakening.
All right. Say something, please. Oh, I'm glad you're all right. They carried you in this morning. I didn't even realize you'd been gone all night. I shouldn't waste your time with this. I was supposed to tell you to see Irving as soon as you woke up.
We proceed to Irving and meet Duncan of the Grey Wardens.
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is...
If it isn't our new brother in the circle. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is he.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child?
After a small escort back to Duncan's room, Zhaoyan asks us to a secret meeting, where a secret lover has a secret plan for Zhaoyan's secret freedom.
I can get us into the repository, but there is a problem. There are 2 locks on the phylactery chamber door. The first enchanter and knight commander each hold 1 key. But it is just a door. There is power enough in this place to destroy all of Ferelden. What's a door to mages?
Of course I tell the Irving because I literally fought a demon for this promotion.
Then do this. Learn the plan and offer to help carry out their scheme. With solid proof of their crime, we can act.
Also Zhaoyan is a blood mage which is 1000% forbidden. Irving tells us to go through with the plan, and when we do,
I won't let you touch her!
Zhaoyan slaughters some Templars, and we're recruited into the military.
Irving spoke highly of this mage, and I would like him to join the Warden ranks.
What?
A decent first day as a mage if ever there was one.
We must make our way to Ostagar, where the king's army is camped. You will be initiated there. I will explain more when the time comes. We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands.
The Imperium kept 2 fortresses of magical experimentation at either end of Ferelden. Ostagar being one. Eonar was overrun by disciples of Andrastet. Left spiritually broken but undamaged, it is used by the Chantry as a prison.
But all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan, I didn't expect
a royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
We make a run in on the way with the king, a charismatic man not being set up in any way.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight.
This is in fact, the 4th blight.
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits.
We meet up with Alistair. A laid-back human whose heart is in the right place, even if his quips seem to project a relaxed demeanor.
Sir Mage, she desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
We also assist with the care of a warhound.
His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first.
Duncan runs the plan to we the recruits and it's off into the wilds.
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can. The scrolls contain treaties promising support, treaties that may prove valuable in the days to come.
Combat in Origins is deceptively simple. With a full party, each character has a set of powers and abilities to damage, debuff, and impair enemies and support, summon, and heal allies. Using the tactics slots and balancing one's party can make or break a game. Even in normal difficulty, one can barely rely on potions alone. Outfitting the entire party, as well as those you recruit, will be beneficial for the long run. Our first personal encounter with Darkspawn holds no ceremony. Leveling in-game is fairly standard. Each level allows attribute points, which we will be focusing heavily on magic and willpower, as well as constitution a little later on. Skills, which is how we not only upgrade crafting and combat prowess, but also add more tactical slots that basically let us set a list of commands for each character to perform when a certain condition is met. Our player character is the only one able to learn speech, which enhances persuasion and intimidation chances. Much of our quest relies on as much diplomacy as disembowelment, so we will be stacking into this first. We freely explore the area and come upon what we seek, only to be confronted by Morrigan.
Well, well. What have we here?
A witty woman, she invites us to meet her mother, the Witch of the Wilds.
'Twas my mother, in fact. Follow me then, if it pleases you.
Famous in this world as powerful creature of pure evil.
They came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize.
She kindly gives us what we ventured for and asks her daughter to show us the way safely back.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me.
We deliver the flower for the hound and return to Duncan.
Have you been successful? Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
The ritual goes off without a hitch.
It is finished. Welcome.
Complete and sadly the only remaining recruit.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
We ready immediately for battle. Our task.
Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done.
To make sure a fire is lit. The essential lore of the Darkspawn goes back to the Tevinter Imperium. The Magisters and leaders worshipped the old gods, which are taught to be spirits the Maker turned his back on. Jealous, they cultivated worship through dreams and tore through the veil to take the shape of dragons. The humans' worship of these turned spirits is known as the first sin. From the old gods the Magisters learned blood magic, and attempted to assault the kingdom of the Maker. The Maker turned the Magisters and fled from humanity, whom he created and was betrayed by, and the taint brought by the Magisters warped them into the first Darkspawn, who search out their old gods to bring blights upon the land. Their attempt and turning became the second sin.
Let's cross the bridge and get to the Tower of Ishal. Glorious!
The Darkspawn seem to have planned for this, and we must fight our way up the tower.
The tower, it's been taken.
What are you talking about, man? Taken how?
The Darkspawn came up through the lower chambers. They're everywhere. Most of our men are dead.
Combat in this game can be as simple or tactical as one truly desires. We can switch between our characters and level those that stay with our party. Buffs, healing, and utilizing each character's strength will become more and more important as we progress. At the top, an ogre boss fight takes place. Vanquished, we light the beacon.
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Betrayed, the Darkspawn take down our heroes one by one. Thankfully, we are saved by some familiar faces.
Ah, your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased. Mother managed to save you and your friend, though 'twas a close call.
If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
Flemeth convinces us of our next steps and sends her daughter to join in our cause.
It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blights. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. Al-Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Kaelin's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help. Of course! The treaties. Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
Now, before you go, there is yet one more thing I can offer you.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight.
Allow me to get my things, if you please.
A cutscene updates us on politics.
Please!
And we are greeted by Puffer, whom we bring into the party.
He's chosen you. Mabaria like that. They call it imprinting.
Does this mean we're going to have this mangy beast following us about now? Wonderful.
He's not mangy.
Our path on the Dark Fantasy Road Trip Tour takes us north to Lothering, where a few obstacles require attention. First, Highwayman.
Wake up, gentlemen! More travelers to attend to. A simple 10 silvers and you're free to move on.
It's not really a toll. We're just robbing you, see?
Do shut up. Even a genlock would have understood that.
A mage?
Bless you! The Darkspawn can have this place.
Next, discuss where to go next.
I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first. I also still think that Al-Eamon is our best bet for help.
Third, solve all the discourse to impress the Darkspawn.
So, we have come to solve every squabble in the village personally. My, but the Darkspawn will be impressed.
Thank you for your generous assistance.
Well, look what we have here then.
Fourth, recruit a priestess in a bar.
Logain's men. This can't be good.
There's no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
I doubt he would listen. He blindly follows his master's commands.
Enough talk! Take the warden into custody. Kill this sister and anyone else that gets in your way.
Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana.
And a big man who slaughtered a family.
I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples.
The revered mother said he slaughtered an entire family, even the children.
Very well, I trust you. Take these keys to his cage and make her watch over you.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
Finally, meet some nice dwarves.
The name's Bodan Fedek, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
We also learn while here the Earl of Redcliffe is sick.
What do you mean?
The Arl is stricken with an illness that threatens his life. We have found no cure, either natural or magical.
When did this happen?
Only a few weeks ago, but he has declined quickly. No one knows the nature of the illness, and even magic has done little to slow its progress. Our only hope now is a miracle. Every knight of Redcliffe has gone in search of the Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Flushed with supplies, we journey on. At a camp stop for the night, we learn our dreams are visions of the archdemon, and how we are connected through the blood we drank.
Part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
We can talk to each character and trade with the dwarves that decided to pitch with the party after all.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodan Fedek at your service once again.
In Redcliffe, Alistair decides now is a good time to admit he has royal blood.
I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier. Well, let's see. How do I tell you this? We're almost at Redcliffe. Did I say how I know Arl Eamon? I'm a bastard. My mother was a serving girl at Redcliffe Castle, and she died when I was born. Arl Eamon took me in and raised me before I was sent to the Chantry. The reason he did that was because... well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
That not at all major plot point placed to one side, a local greets us.
Nobody's heard from the castle in days.
We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Apparently everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other.
We are taken to Ban Tegan, who fills us in.
Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainersphere. You're here to see my brother? Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle.
And instructs us to see Murdoch the mayor.
You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle.
Name's Murdoch, mayor of what's left of the village, providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight.
From here, we essentially help with things that will bolster the defense or morale of the town, increasing chances of not only success, but survival of the townsfolk.
We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either.
Maker's breath. What is that smell? It's like someone set a brewery on fire.
It seems I have some work to do relighting the forge. Murdoch just better send his men here as soon as possible if I'm gonna get to all these repairs.
Oh, lovely. Shall we next begin rescuing kittens from trees?
Ready for an invasion, we begin the battle. One of the larger downsides of magic in this game is the friendly fire. Though your own party will be unaffected damage-wise, they will take penalties depending on the spell, such as being knocked over by a fireball. And as for NPCs outside the party, they are given no accommodations. Enemies defeated, the sun rises on our victory, and we mourn Murdoch and the militiamen's losses.
And though this victory came at great cost, we must remember none of us would be here were it not for the heroism of these good folk beside me.
Let us bow our heads and give honor to those who gave their lives in defense of Redcliffe.
Murdoch of Redcliffe, Mayor and beloved father, we salute you. The blow we delivered today is enough for me to enter the castle and seek out your Arl. Now we've no time to waste. Meet me at the mill. We can talk further there.
Ban Tegan leads us to the windmill for the next plan when interrupted by Lady Isolde, filling in more of the events at the castle.
I had a plan. To enter the castle after the village was secure. There is a secret passage here, in the mill, accessible only to my family. Maker's breath. Isolde, you're alive. How did you... What has happened?
I do not have much time to explain. I slipped away from the castle as soon as I saw the battle was over, and I must return quickly. And I need you to return with me, Tegan. Alone.
Please, Lady Isolde, we had no idea anyone was even alive within the castle. We must have some answers.
I know you need more of an explanation, but I don't know what is safe to tell. Tegan, there is a terrible evil within the castle. The dead waken and haunt the living. The maid responsible was caught, but still it continues. And I think Connor is going mad. We have survived, but he won't flee the castle. He has seen so much death.
Tegan leaves with her, and we take the secret tunnel ourselves. Along the route, none other than Jowan is here.
By all that's holy, you! I can't believe it! Please, I know how it seems. Poisoning the Arl was a terrible thing. But I'm not behind everything else happening here, I swear! I was already imprisoned when all that began. At first, Lady Isolde came here with her men, demanding that I reverse what I'd done. I was instructed to by Terran Loghain. I was told that Arl Eamon was a threat to Ferelden, that if I dealt with him, Loghain would settle matters with the Circle. Connor had started to show signs.
Connor? A mage? I can't believe it.
She sought an apostate, a mage outside the Circle, to teach her son in secret so he could learn to hide his talent. With the veil to the Fade torn, spirits and demons could infiltrate the castle. Powerful ones could kill and create those walking corpses. I will find a way to fix this somehow.
Released, we hope our friend does not betray us again, and move on to confront the demon child, currently being entertained.
So these are our visitors? The ones you told me about, Mother?
Yes, Connor.
Mother? What's happening? Where am I?
Oh, thank the Maker. Connor! Connor, can you hear me?
Get away from me, fool woman! You are beginning to bore me!
Grey Warden, please don't hurt my son. He is not responsible for what he done.
And made a deal with the demon to do so? Foolish child.
It was a fair deal! I crave excitement and action! This man spoiled my sport by saving that stupid village, and now he'll repay me!
Forcing our hand against the guards, Tegan is at least spared and released from his mind control.
My mind is my own again.
Blessed Andraste. I would never have forgiven myself had you died. Not after I brought you here. The fool I am. Please. Connor's not responsible for this. There must be some way we can save him.
A discussion takes place about what to do with Connor.
Connor is no longer a child. He's an abomination.
You!
This is the mage you spoke of? Didn't you say he was in the dungeon?
He was. I assumed the creatures had killed him by now.
Your secrecy made his actions possible.
But
I know what you must think of me, my lady.
If they discovered Connor had magic, then they'd take him away.
I wouldn't normally suggest slaying a child, but...
We can't kill a young boy. Demon or no...
Connor is my nephew. But... he is also possessed by a demon. Death would be... merciful.
There is another option, though I loathe offering it.
You can enter the Fade, then? And kill the demon without hurting my boy?
No, but I can enable another mage to do so. It normally requires lyrium and several mages, but I have blood magic.
The last option will send us back to the Mage's Tower, to enact the treaties and ask for help.
You can find lyrium and more mages at the Circle of Magi. One of the treaties is also for the Circle of Magi, after all.
The tower is about a day's journey across the lake. You could attempt to get the mages' help.
But what will happen here? Connor will not remain passive forever.
Very well. I will keep Jowan here as a precaution. He says he wants to help, so he will keep an eye on Connor with us. Go to the tower quickly, then. The longer you are away, the greater the chances of disaster.
Though the game tries to worry us on time, it will thankfully not be a factor. Travel between areas prove dangerous, as we can run into a variety of enemies. We will continue to explore the world and lore of Dragon Age Origins in the next episode, starting at the docks of the tower. Thank you for watching.